That's not bad right off the beat, right? Get what I did there? Right off the beat. I like those chingly chingles. As you may know, GarageBand have just released a new sound pack. It is the 808s, and here it is in all its glory, the Ultimate 808s Hip Hop Pack. So in this little section, I'm going to put it to the test. That's right, we're going to create something with just this hip hop pack. If you haven't checked it out, let's preview the sound, make sure our sound's working. Yeah, very cool. So what does this pack have in it and what are we going to use? Well, we've got 21 Alchemy bass patches. So we're going to get our 808 bass on, 20 different drum kits, 15 hi-hat keyboard instruments, and 50 hi-hat Apple loops. So what I'm going to do is show you how we can quickly pull together an 808 based beat here in GarageBand. First thing you need to do, of course, is jump in here, go to your sound library, make sure you're running iOS 14, at least, or 14.3 I think you need, the latest version. Try and update to the latest version if you can, and make sure you're running GarageBand 2.3.10. If you need to update, go to the App Store, you'll see the update there. And then you come into the 808 pack, you hit the get button, it'll then say downloaded, and you'll have these sounds ready to rock and roll, which is what we're going to do here. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's add some bass. Let's start with some bass. And to do this, we're going to go to the Alchemy synth. So we're into keyboard, we're going to go more sounds, and we're going to go Alchemy synth. Now, people get trapped in, a lot of people say, Pete, I can't find all the different sounds. It's usually because you're a level in. If you can't find something, always make sure you go right back to the start here, and this is where all your stuff is. So people often struggle to find things like the other instruments, the very cool flutes and clarinets and bassoons and strings and brass instruments and world instruments. They're all back here. But remember, if you're in Alchemy synth, you're already in here and you might think you're at the bottom level. Anyway, make sure you go back there. So let's find these new ones. What we can do is we can go to bass, and we can find all these 808 bass sounds. Now, actually, this is going to be the harder way to find them because we're going to have to scroll through and find the pack there. There's an easier way. If we come back here and we go to recently downloaded, you can actually go into just that pack and you can shortcut your way there. So let's add a bass. What's one I haven't used in my play so far? I don't think I've used the tough 808 bass. Let's find a tough bass, shall we, and see what this is going to be like. That's pretty tough. Yeah? All right, we're going to go with that for our tough 808 bass. Now, don't forget, you can actually change these. You've got these 8 presets here in Alchemy. So as we play, we can move this around. And if we want to move it to a bit more 808 punch, or if we want a bit of a stomp mush, I kind of like that. We've got a buzz sub. Maybe something in between the stomp mush and the buzz sub. Yeah, I kind of like that, don't you? All right, so that's what we're going to record in here. We need to get our tempo going on here. We want this to be want it to be around about that. Don't forget, you can tap your tempo in here. It feels like it's going to be about 128. So we'll go 128. So yeah, go to your settings, go tempo. You're going to go 128. And now we're going to. Wow, did you hear that tail? If you hold it down, you get that cool tail. Maybe we'll mix in a little bit of that. But for now, we're going to hit the record button. And I'm going to play this in with my finger. I won't use the mouse because it's kind of tricky to do. So let's play in this little bass part. Oh, I was one thing in and I'd already messed it up. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we're going to loop this. This is going to be a loop sound anyway. So all we need is those first ones. Were these in the right spot? They were. So all we need to do now is tap this, and through the power of GarageBand looping, we're going to have that all the way through. All right, we're going with that for now. Let's. I really like this so much. I'm going to duplicate it out, and we're going to go back into the instrument. So tap on the instrument here, and bring ourselves back in. Oh yeah, I like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold this down and bring this across 2 bars and then loop another little version of this same bass. In fact, we might do it. No, we'll do it up there at the same spot. All right, let's record. So that's cool, but we what we actually want is we just want the start of that sound. So, we just want the tail of that. So if we play these two together, I'll just turn up the one that we just added there for this sort of extra bass pad, and you'll hear. So we only really want that effect in the background. We don't want it at the start. So what I'm going to do is quickly add in a little automation. This is a very cool tool if you want to do something like this. So we don't want that start bit. So what we do is we turn on automation, we come in here, and what we actually want is for this to ramp up like this and come across like that. So we want it to be no volume there, and we want that sort of effect sound to just gently come in. Let's take a listen. All right, we can come in a bit quicker than that, so we can actually just bring it down like that. We just don't want that hit at the start, yeah? And it doesn't need to go up as loud, so whoop, we don't want to do that. Undo. So we'll undo and undo. Whoop. We don't want that spot, and we'll just bring this down into our mix, a bit like that. And then we just need to do the same here for this second hit, because I did a slight variation on that the second time around. So we'll bring this here, and again, we need to go down in volume first, so we want to miss the start of that, and then we want to bring our volume back up. Whoop. Just like that. So let's take a listen to this second part. Yeah, just for a little bit of flavor in behind there. So that's got our bass kind of sorted. We can play around with that later as we go. The other cool things that we get in here are some hi-hat loops. Now, there's a couple of ways you can add your hi-hat loops here to go along with your bass. We can come in here to our loops, and then we can actually find them. We can filter by, and we can go to Sound Packs and Ultimate 808. Now, I realized that once again, I didn't explain what an 808 is. So 808 is based on the old Roland TR-808 drum machine. So it was a physical drum machine that was very popular with hip-hop producers and artists back in the day. And now we have 808s in pretty much everything. If you've listened to any modern R&B, hip-hop, rap music, you're going to hear a lot of these 808 bass and kick and hi-hat kind of sounds. So what have we got here? Well, we've got some hi-hats. So let's start auditioning some of these. Probably want a clicky kind of hi-hat. Maybe not quite that intense. Maybe the glossy. Let's bring this in. See if this one's going to work with our. Yeah, that's cool, right? So yeah, we've got our bass there. Bass needs to come up a bit. We've got some clicky little hi-hats here, which will work. And you might have noticed the difference with these hi-hats is they're actually a keyboard instrument because they can actually be pitched at different levels. So if we come in here to edit, you'll notice here that each hi-hat hit, that the way you get that clicky sound is, see that one's up there, then, oh, I deleted one by mistake. So they're at different velocities. So you can see here that the velocity of that one's louder. This one's quite loud again, but this one is just a quiet little one. So that's where you get that clickety, because it's actually changing, and you've got the pitches on the side here. So that's how you're getting this sound, and even some of these down here are those lower sounds. So see how that's working? So the loops there are cool. You can program these yourself. If you went to the plus button and you went to your keyboard instruments, you can actually go in, and these are, as you can see here, you can actually grab the hi-hats here and play them in on your keyboard if you wanted to spend the time. But the loops that they've already put in there for you are pretty darn cool. So I'm going to leave that one there. Now, something that Patrick over at the GarageBand Guide actually showed was sometimes these hi-hat loops on their own aren't that interesting, but sometimes bringing a couple together can actually work well because you're getting two different kind of tones and you're getting a little bit of more interesting beat going on. So let's just try a few here. That's probably a bit too much to add over the top. Maybe that one, even though that's a little bit intense as well. Let's bring these two together. Maybe we just sort of put this one under a little bit in the mix. So. Okay, there's a lot going on there, but we'll just go with it for now because I just want to show you how we can very easily and quickly build something up here. So let's now add in, because we don't actually have, as part of this pack, we don't have any 808 kick, but we do have that in our beat sequencer that we can use. Actually, I think there is a beat sequencer kit. I might be telling fibs. Let's come in and find out. So we'll go to our drums, we'll go to our beat sequencer, and then down the bottom here, like it defaults to the modern 808, but I think, do we actually have one in the 808 kit? The Ultimate 808s? Oh, we do. Pete, you're a lying liar who lies. We've got a heap of them here. We got a whole bunch of kits. So what's going to go well with this one? So maybe something like the Dark Arts. Oh, that's not bad right off the beat, right? Get what I did there? Right off the beat. I like those chingly chingles. Yeah, so there's some good sounds in there. There's some interesting effects going on in there. So if we wanted to add this one straight into our beat, all we need to do is hit the record button and hit the start button, and this is going to record over the top. So we'll do that now. We'll hit record, it'll start. Oh, I like the way the jingle jangle mixes with my additional sort of low end bass there. I think that's kind of cool. So we'll bring this in, we'll loop it, and we'll just sort of lower that down in the mix a little bit. Make sure our 808 bass is kicking through nicely here, and we've got a bit of a sound like this. So you can see there that quickly in like 10 minutes, we've built out an idea here, and we've used some presets and things like that. But of course, you can come in here and change everything to your heart's content. So if you're not digging on this vibe, you can roll the dice and just see what it gives you. I actually like that more. Do you reckon? So let's experiment. Let's duplicate this out. We'll mute this old one. This is what I recommend. Mute the old one, come into your new one, and then record it in and see if this is going to sound better. And then you can kind of audition, you can A-B it. Cool. So we've got 4 beats, 4 bars there, and we'll bring it on back, and then we'll duplicate, no, we don't dupe, we'll luplicate it. So now we can sort of A-B test these two. So we can go, the first version that we had was doing this. Not bad, yeah. And the second version was this one. That might actually be doing too much, yeah? So we'll go back to the first one, but that's cool. And then, of course, you need some sort of lead chopper to go on here. Now, the 808 pack, because 808's all about the bass, it doesn't really have a whole lot of lead choppers and things going on here, so we'll need to add something from the Alchemy lead pack. So if we go to more sounds, let me just double check that. I'm almost sure. Yeah, I mean, you could use, let's see if we can, you know what? Let's see if we can use like one of these sweeping 808s basses as a treble instrument if we bring it up high enough. I wonder if it'll qualify. You know what? It almost might. That's almost like a cool little top note. Yeah, it needs to come right up, doesn't it? Oh, I can't go any higher. I can't get it higher. It won't let me play. It won't let me play the note I want to because it's like, no. What if we scroll it? There we go. Yeah, right. Okay, so let's put the pitch bend back on, and let's just record in a little bit of a treble section here. Oh, started our recording halfway through the track. Don't do that. Back to the start of the track. Yep, that's what we want to do. All right, let's record it. Didn't quite get there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, you might want to use something that's not a bass instrument for your top end. But again, I wanted to do something all with 808s. Now I didn't like the first part there, so we're just going to use the second part, and we're going to loop it out. You might have noticed I deliberately, hit a wrong note there, but that's okay because we can edit it really quickly. So let's just listen to it and find the spot. There it is, yeah, that note there. So if we tap it, we go to edit, we can come on in here and find the note that is delinquent and adjust it. So it's going to be now. And you also notice it's a little bit out of time there, so that's where our old friend quantization comes in. We can tap it, we can go to settings, and we can quantize this section here and put it right on the 8th note, because we know that this is going to hit right where the beat is. So there you go. What timing issues? It's perfect. And then, of course, we can start adding some different effects on here. So I'm thinking with something like this, we want to add something that's going to give it a bit of like a flange on this top end. So let's come in here to our plugins and EQ and throw on a basic sort of flanger. And then we're going to get this. There we go. And of course, being a bit of a DJ beat kind of thing, you can even use the FX here, so we can start playing around with filters. So if we came in here and we wanted to, like, say, record this in with a bit of a filter, we can do that, and then bring it in. You're walking in the club. Who doesn't want to get their glow sticks out for that one? Yeah. All right. Well, we'll turn off the FX there because that was not particularly well performed. But there you go. Very quick and simple way to start building out a beat here using the very cool Ultimate 808s pack here in GarageBand iOS.